Is up, guys? It's Gunthug here, and it is week 7, the last DPP OU match of the season, of the regular season, I should say, because we've got plenty more great action coming in the playoffs, which start in about 24 hours, something like that. Um, I've been really impressed. I've said this. I've been really impressed with the level of play in DPP this season. I feel like it's been very competitive. I feel like some new faces have emerged that we haven't seen in prior seasons of DPP. And of course, there's been a gap since the last time this was featured in PSL. Mendeez has been one of them. BlueBreath has been another one. Neither of these traditional, long-standing PSL players. They're both newer in DPP at least, and both have had a lot of success this season. Blue, of course, knocking off Nickel, and Mendeez probably the front runner, I would think, for MVP. Although, we'll have to see what happens here. But again, I've been impressed. Let's jump into this game. Let's see where we're at. The leads are going to be, and again, I have not seen this. This is all coming completely fresh. Lead is Zapdos Metagross. Okay, so we've been seeing a lot of Zapdos leads. In fact, I'm sure you saw in my match, Zapdos versus Zapdos in the lead spot. And so Mendeez goes for it. It has the clear advantage over Metagross. Blue wisely switches out, goes to Heatran. Usually a good switch for Zap, but if you get something like Specs Thunderbolt here, it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt. And look at that. Even not, I don't think that's Specs, but it did 45%. Heatran throws out a Fire Blast. Starmie is a pretty common switch there. Dodges the Fire Blast, wouldn't have done much though. And then Blue brings out his own Starmie to eat up the Surf. I'm not seeing leftovers tick on that one, so it's clearly offensive. And yes, it is Life Orb. It does eat up the Thunderbolt from the Life Orb less opponent, which as you can see there, Life Orb damage matters, right? I mean, if he had Life Orb there, yes, he would have already lost 10% from his old move. But I'm just saying, look at the damage. Common Starmie scenario. It comes in on a Surf. You know what I mean? You hit it with that Thunderbolt next, and you're not quite able to kill. It makes you think, oh, if I'm going offensive, it's all about that item choice. So Blue Breath Starmie does survive. Now, whatever he does here is going to tick his own Life Orb, and they'll trade Starmies. So we're pretty even now. 5-5. Metagross comes back in. Spore comes on Breloom here. That's who Mendeez comes out. I think it's pretty common to see Lumberry on this lead Metagross set. It's certainly one of its most viable lead items. If it is Lumberry, that's going to be huge for Blue because this Spore is not going to put him to sleep. It's going to let him put up rocks or get a strong hit off on Breloom. We do see the Lum trigger, okay? And the Meteor Mash comes in, does incredible damage, gets the attack boost. Breloom, it takes a turn for Toxic Orb to kick in where you don't get any recovery, so very vulnerable, especially with that attack boost, because I think Bullet Punch has a good chance of killing here. I would bounce out. He does Bullet Punch, and it kills. I would have probably bounced out there. You know that Bullet Punch is the next move, or maybe Meteor Mash. You've got Heatran, you've got Zapdos. I think that's a good opportunity to let Breloom come in on something later and immediately threaten something. A little bit early to be giving that up, but Heatran does come in now. Here comes the Fire Blast. It one-hit KOs that Metagross. So if that's where he was carrying rocks, then he's just lost his rocks for the match. We'll see if that's the case. Tyranitar, safe switch for Heatran here almost all of the time. It's Dragon Dance Tyranitar. So now the question becomes, what kind of set does he have? It's virtually, if this is Scarf Tyranitar for Mendeez, and you got to think about the scenario that he's bringing it in. I think it's Scarf because that's something you bring in if you're worried about Dragon Dance on Tyranitar. And so this could be a speed tie because it's most Dragon Dancers I feel like are max speed, Jolly or something to that nature. So probably it may have been a speed tie. You see the crit without Shuka. I'm not sure that that crit mattered. I am pretty sure that a +1 Tyranitar is going to one hit KO with Earthquake unless you have like a super bulky set or if you have a Resist Berry and Shuka. So he does take it. I think it's more likely if Scarf than DD, easy peasy lemon squeezy. I mean, I think it's very possible that that was Scarf. Let's think about the rest of his team. Heatran, I don't think that could be Scarfed. I mean, he's obviously got a Scarfer. Metagross is going to come in here. Metagross can eat this Earthquake, another Dragon Dance, but we get Agility. So now it's going to be who's faster. Usually Metagross is faster than Tyranitar here. Tyranitar with that max 243, Metagross all the way up to 262. You usually actually run this set to have enough speed to outspeed Tyranitar, so we'll see who ends up going first. It is the Metagross. He gets the Babiri Berry. Oh man, what a tech. And we get the Shuka on Metagross, so the double tech berry. I like that. I think that when you're running Dragon Dance Tyranitar, one of the things you have to be very wary about getting revenge killed by is a Metagross. You've got Bullet Punch on that, and you've also got Sizer, not quite as popular in today's meta, but it's still out there and it's still dangerous. Sizer with Bullet Punch. If you hold that Babiri Berry, you have a good chance of KOing back. I'm going to guess he's going to be running Fire Punch then on this because it's going to give him something to hit Sizer. But again, the problem is then Metagross was also holding that Shuka Berry. He got the benefit of the Pinch Berry too, and we already know that he's faster. So here's Metagross now. He's going to outspeed and KO with Earthquake, and still a very threatening Pokemon here. But Sizer, very good counter for Metagross. I think it does a great job of coming in and neutralizing that agility set, which can be so scary. Life Orb Sizer's going to do a lot of damage here. No Rocks hurts him. You'd like to be able to get a little more chip on Zapdos. We get Zapdos coming in, takes a Bullet Punch with no problem. And it looks like it is lefty Zapdos, so it has got some bulk on it. It hits with the HP Ice. Dragonite comes in, lives that, gets him down to a range where that Sand is going to kill him on the tick. Same with it was Life Orb Dragonite, so it goes goodbye. That's another example of why in every match, and I'm not saying that either of these players did anything wrong here, but in every match you're always striving to get Stealth Rock up and on the field. Think about how much different that scenario would have been, that encounter would have been, had Rocks done their damage there, because then Dragonite's coming in on 75% health, and so you're going to lose that. You're going to lose that HP Ice that you were able to live because no Rocks. I mean, again, changes the whole face of the game, right? And it goes both ways. If Rocks have been up on the other side, then Zapdos is more chipped. Other things take that kind of damage. Again, here we go. Heatran versus Heatran. We're the final showdown. He outspeeds. He KOs with Earth Power. Great win by Blue there. That ended up being a really close game. Very close game. Mendeez goes down. I think he was right up there in the MVP conversation, but obviously this will hurt him. Nikhil might walk away with this at this point, although obviously Metacham Z is still out there as well. But great win right here. All the glory goes to Blue right now. He outspeeds and kills there. I'm not sure if maybe we'll get revealed here whether that might have been a speed tie. But here's the thing: either Mendeez's Tyranitar was scarfed or his Heatran was scarfed. And so if it was Heatran, we might have gotten a tie there. This definitely could have been Scarfed Heatran because I'm not sure where else that Scarf comes from. Yeah, there's no other Scarf on the team. So pretty likely that this was Scarf. Again, Earth Power, unless you've got a Resist Berry. One hit KOs. He had the Shuka on Metagross, so I'm not sure what the item was on Heatran. Maybe it was Choppel, or maybe it was Scarf, like I said, and he just lost the speed tie. So again, well-deserved win. That was a great match. Good way to end the season. So I will see you all next time.